Dear friends, welcome to another episode of Geopolitical and Military News. In this video, we will talk about a recent statement by Japan's new Prime Minister, Shigeru Ishiba, who said that the only way for the democratic nations of the Asia-Pacific and Oceania to defend themselves against China's aggressive expansionism is through the creation of an Asian NATO. As soon as World War II ended in Europe, it became clear to the Western allies, led by the United States and the United Kingdom, that Stalin was not willing to honor the agreements made in the various high-level meetings held during the war, especially regarding the liberation of Eastern Europe and the guarantee that they could hold free elections. Thus, contrary to what was promised, Stalin kept countries like Bulgaria, Romania, and Poland under strong Soviet control, allowing only Moscow-approved politicians to rise to top positions in governance. This Soviet control brought down an authentic Iron Curtain over Eastern Europe, isolating that bloc of countries and initiating in 1947 what came to be known as the Cold War. At that time, it was also obvious to European countries that Stalin was waiting for a good opportunity to advance further into Europe, and he had more than enough means to do so. By the late 1940s, the Soviet Union had more tanks, more planes, more artillery, and more soldiers than all European countries combined. If Stalin truly wanted, he could have advanced and dominated each European country with little effort. At that time, the only way for European countries to feel any sense of security was through a military alliance that also involved the United States. Thus, in 1949, NATO was born, originally formed by 10 European countries, along with the United States and Canada. A military alliance created with the purpose of defending against an adversary who, in a direct confrontation, would be capable of defeating them all. This, in fact, is the principle behind military alliances, forming a single, strong defense through the union of individually weak forces. And it was precisely with this in mind that Shigeru Ishiba, the new Prime Minister of Japan, advocated for the creation of an Asian NATO to confront China's growing expansionism and aggressiveness in the region, with Ishiba also referring to North Korea's increasingly belligerent stance, especially now, after becoming a strategic partner of Vladimir Putin through its support for the invasion of Ukraine. The current situation in Asia and the Pacific closely mirrors the situation in Europe in the second half of the 1940s. Just as Stalin had more than enough means to invade and subjugate each European country individually, today China is perfectly capable of doing the same in the Asia-Pacific and Oceania. And just as the only way that prevented Stalin from doing this was through a military alliance involving the United States, Japan believes that the only way to stop China from realizing expansionist plans is through the creation of an alliance identical to NATO, but in the Pacific context. In his statement, Ishiba said that the absence of a collective defense system in Asia could lead to the start of not just one, but multiple wars involving China, North Korea, and even Russia. Ishiba stated that at this moment, the United States has military alliances and pacts with several countries in the region. And in fact, besides Japan, the United States has military pacts with South Korea and an authentic military alliance with the Philippines, the country that has been under the most pressure from China recently. Ishiba said that it is enough to unify these alliances and add other strategic partners, such as Australia and even India, to create a united and inviolable front, capable of definitively stopping China's expansionist drive in the South China Sea and other regions of the Indo-Pacific. For Ishiba, a potential platform for this new alliance could be found in the Quad, a security dialogue group involving Australia, India, Japan, and the United States. Through the Quad, these countries frequently conduct military exercises in the Indo-Pacific area, with the experience gained potentially being transferred to a full alliance, which would involve, in addition to these four nations, the Philippines and South Korea. Ishiba also advocates for an upgrade to the Mutual Defense Pact between Japan and the United States, with the new Japanese Prime Minister aiming to elevate this pact to the same level as the alliance between the United States and the United Kingdom. According to Ishiba, by doing this, Japan would be able to deploy troops to U.S. military bases in the region, particularly in Guam, increasing the dynamics of Japanese troop movements and allowing for greater mutual security exchange. Additionally, Ishiba also intends to obtain from the United States the sharing of American nuclear power, similar to what the US already does with Belgium, the Netherlands, Germany, Italy, and Turkey, countries where the United States maintains a small number of nuclear weapons that could, if needed, be deployed by these countries, but always in direct coordination with the Pentagon. Ishiba wants Japan to also have American nuclear weapons, or, as a last resort, to develop its own, an argument he makes in light of the growing aggressiveness of North Korea and China, powerful nuclear powers that are constantly threatening Japan. Thank you for watching the video until the end. If you liked the content, don't forget to leave a like. This helps the channel grow and reach more people. If you didn't like it, leave a dislike and explain in the comments how we can improve. Also, comment with suggestions for topics we can cover in future videos. Insulting comments or those defending dictatorships or war criminals will be blocked without exception. Thank you for your understanding. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing by clicking the subscribe button below and hitting the bell to receive all notifications. Thank you. See you next time.